Welcome to Fort Pierce, Manatee Observation and Education Center. The following video will introduce you to our icon, the Florida Manatee, as well as giving you an overview of our center. The West Indian manatee has roamed our planet for about 15 million years. The manatee belongs to the order of Sirenia. Sirenians have been around for over 45 million years. Early sailors even mistook them for mermaids. The Florida manatee can be found all around Florida, and in the summer months migrates as far as Alabama, Georgia, or Texas. The manatee inhabits salt, fresh, and brackish water, and can be spotted when it lifts its snout out of the water for a breath of air, or you can see it leaving a so-called manatee footprint when swimming by. Manatees are mammals, and although they live in the water, they need to surface to breathe. Manatees have nostrils that are covered with a skin flap serving as a valve. So their nostrils are covered when underwater and can be open when coming up for a breath of air. The breathing system is very efficient, and with every breath the manatee can replenish 90% of its air. When active, manatees need to come up every 2 to 3 minutes, but when they are resting, they can stay submerged for up to 20 minutes. The manatee has very large lungs, which stretch along its back. The large lungs, along with a hemidiaphragm and very dense, heavy bones, help the manatee control its buoyancy. Adult manatees can grow up to a size of 10 feet and reach a weight of 1,200 pounds. The manatee's closest relative today is the elephant. Just like the elephant, manatees have thick skin and sparse hair covering their body. They also have whiskers around their snout called vibrissae, which may be used as a sensory organ. Manatees also have fingernails. The manatee feeds on a variety of seagrasses, including turtle grass, shoal grass, manatee grass, mangrove seedling, water hyacinth, and hydrilla. They can consume up to 8 to 10% of their body weight each day. For a 1,200-pound mammal, that means it can eat up to 100 pounds of vegetation each day. Manatees communicate underwater by making sounds such as clicks, squeaks, and squeals. The following sequence illustrates sounds that are made by a female manatee communicating with her calf. The manatee has so-called marching molars. Due to abrasive food and sand the manatee picks up when chewing on vegetation, the front teeth wear out and are replaced horizontally. During its lifetime, it consistently renews its teeth, and while the front teeth fall out, the teeth in the back march forward. Manatees are usually solitary animals, but they can be observed in groups. The strongest bond is that between a mother and a calf. When the female is in estrus, a large group of male manatees, called a mating herd, will follow her, sometimes for up to a month. The female can mate with several males, and it's not uncommon to see manatees splashing around a lot, which is normal mating behavior. The gestation period is about 1 year, and the newborn calf stays with its mother for up to 2 years. The calf nurses from its mother's teats, which are located under the armpits. For the next 2 years, the calf will also learn how to find warm water sites, migration routes, and food. The manatee has no natural predator, but is still endangered. While the manatee faces some natural threats, a lot of the causes are human-related. The main threats to the manatee are collisions with watercraft. Every year, a large number of manatees are killed or mutilated by collisions with watercrafts. Manatees are not very fast swimmers and oftentimes can't get out of the way of a boat in time. They can be killed or injured by the hull or the propeller. Most manatees have scars on their backs or tails, indications that they had collisions with motorboats. Researchers use these scar patterns to identify individual manatees. In many parts of Florida, slow speed zones have been established and boater education is advocated. Entanglement. A number of manatees get entangled in wrongly discarded monofilament line and other debris. These entanglements can lead to drowning or severe mutilations, sometimes cutting off entire flippers. It is extremely important that fishermen try to discard their line correctly. Another problem is ingestion of litter if improperly discarded. Very cold winters. Manatees are tropical species and cannot tolerate water colder than 68 degrees. When manatees get too cold, they start to exhibit signs of cold stress, white lesions on their skin. Cold stress can also lead to pneumonia. Their system will shut down and they'll stop eating. Especially small animals are oftentimes rescued for cold stress. When temperatures drop, manatees migrate to warm water sites, which can be natural springs, such as Blue Spring and Crystal River, or warm water outflow of power plants. Red tide. Red tide is an algae bloom that produces brevetoxins, which manatees can inhale or ingest in seagrasses. The toxins have debilitating effects on the manatee's nervous system, causing seizures and paralysis. This results in the inability to lift their heads out of the water to breathe. When spotted and rescued in time, manatees can get the toxins out of their system within 24 to 48 hours and make a full recovery. Habitat destruction. Due to coastal development and increasing population, water pollution, and pumping off water from natural springs, manatees' habitat is severely affected and being diminished. Manatees are often referred to as gentle giants, and there are a number of places in Florida to see them. Especially in the wintertime, they aggregate at warm water sites such as Blue Spring State Park, Crystal River, Fort Pierce, Fort Myers, Tampa, and Fort Lauderdale. The only place where swimming with manatees is allowed is Crystal River on Florida's northwest coast. People need to be aware that in no other place swimming with manatees is allowed. It is generally prohibited to touch or ride manatees, give manatees food or water, or harass the manatee. If we don't act now, it is questionable how much longer the Florida manatee will be around before it goes extinct. By following a few basic steps and educating the public, we can make a difference to make sure that the gentle sea cow will be around for future generations. One center that helps people understand Florida's icon better is right here in Fort Pierce, Manatee Observation and Education Center.
Moore's Creek does not contain a lot of seagrasses and things that manatees could graze on, but we have observed mommy manatees coming in and parking their calves and go out and feed and then come back and pick them up.
The center was originally built because of the warm water outflow of the Henry D. King Power Plant. This attracted many manatees. Moore's Creek sees manatees year-round, and the center offers many educational programs.
It's important to educate kids because, you know, they're the up-and-coming generation, and if we're going to have any hope at all of saving our planet, you know, as well as our marine life and our waterways, they need to learn early the proper things to do. We do have an exhibit hall. We have lots and lots of information as well as interactive exhibits. We offer all types of programs to the public. We also have a walkway along Moore's Creek where you can look out and try to observe manatees in their natural habitat. We also have an observation tower that you can go up into. And that way you can look out across the lagoon. You have the possibility of seeing dolphins, manatees, birds, you know, all kinds of wildlife. We have classes from the local schools that come in. We educate about 5,000 school children a year.
Are manatees fish or are they mammals? Who could tell me? A mammal! So let's talk about how big a manatee can get. First, let's talk about our baby manatee here. I need 3 people to help me. Raise your hand if you'd like to come help me. The baby manatee is about 4 feet long. Can you hold that? You want to hold his head right there? And this manatee baby, being born underwater, can manatees breathe underwater? No. So what do you think the mom's going to have to do?
Get another manatee and push them up on their noses.
Yeah, so what happens is the mom is going to come up right under the baby's belly and give it a little push up to the surface, and then that way it's going to come up and stick its head out of water and get air. All right, so that's our baby. Now let's talk about how big the mama gets. You guys can have a seat. Thank you. Do you think that the mama manatee is as big as all of you?
Yes.
Let's see. We're going to take the head. You're going to hold it.
Whoa.
Help me. They're right here beside you. There you go. Jump. So let's look at some reasons why we don't have that many manatees left.
Oh, I see.
You see what?
A boat.
A boat, right? A boat. The boats have propellers on the back, and the faster the boat goes, the faster the propeller spins. So manatees underwater, sometimes it's too late before they realize that a boat is near them. And we already know they're not very fast swimmers, so many times manatees will get cut by the propeller. And one of the other main reasons why manatees are endangered is called habitat destruction. You guys, when you're at school or at home, on a playground, wherever you're at, make sure that you take your trash and you put it in the trash can. That's one of the #1 ways you can help lots of animals, not just manatees.
In addition to educational programs, the center features a gift shop with many unique items for purchase.